I'm feeling quite disappointed and gutted that we don't get to continue to be part of this sort of elite competition in the country and to participate in the Premiership that historically Richmond Women have always been part of, and a lot of our founders of the club were instrumental in sort of setting up the Women's Premiership and the RFU back in the day. So it's disappointing that we're no longer part of that competition, but looking at who's been invited and who's involved, it was almost inevitable. So we just have to focus and look to what the future looks for us, really. Looking at who's been invited to now participate with Exeter and Sale, there's sort of discussions about whether it's geographically based, which presumably it is, or that has an impact. So there was obviously too much competition within London, with 4 of the clubs being based in quite a close proximity to each other. So with Sale being invited in to take over sort of Liverpool, the Liverpool area, so they've taken over the Waterloo patch, and then Exeter being invited in sort of spreads out the region further down into the southwest. So it's disappointing that we're not involved. Can kind of understand why, but it doesn't make it any easier to accept. We, as you say, this is going into our 35th season this year. We have been, as a club, pioneers within the women's game. We've done so many firsts, and we've got so many firsts to our name. Really, the European title holders. We were the first club to be able to successfully run 3 women's sides, as well as having our junior sides. Our integration with the men's section at the club has always been the envy of other clubs. So it does make it a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but being a pioneering club, we do like to do things first. So I think we'll use our history and our sort of knowledge to forge a new path for us. And if, we'll turn this into a positive. It will be positive, and we will have a positive environment to go back to once all the current conditions are lifted, and we can get back to Richmond. But we will make it positive as much as we can. I'm incredibly proud of all of the players, staff members, coaches, volunteers, supporters, everyone that's got behind us and everyone that's pulled on a shirt for the women's section over the last 3 years of the Tyrrells campaign. I'm incredibly proud of them. We were always the underdogs and seen as the underdogs. We were also always seen as the ones to take a pop at. And the girls and staff, coaches, volunteers, everyone kind of rallied around the club shirt and the club name. And it was incredibly proud when we could still turn up, play the games, not give up, give the full 80 minutes, and keep fighting to the final whistle. And we had some great results as well. We've had some brilliant experiences, and I hope we've created lots of memories for the girls, particularly our new players and our younger players as well that have been coming into the setup. So definitely really proud of everything that we achieved in the last 3 years. Thank you. I received several calls and messages. I had a DOR from one of the other clubs that still remains within the Tyrrells League, phoned me the morning of the results going out. I had text messages from another DOR from another club, and just sort of passing on their commiserations. If they really meant it, they probably would have not signed their agreement and let us back in, but that's probably not going to happen. But I want to say thank you for all of the support, and that just shows that the history of the women's section at Richmond is just so valuable to the women's game and the contribution it's made to the game where it is. We have been enviable for years and years, and maybe it's just a time for us to step aside, let someone else have a bit of limelight for a while, and we'll come back fighting better for it in a few years' time, hopefully. I think we're not quite sure what league we're going to be in yet. Whichever one we're going to be in, we know that we're going to be, again, the one to beat. people are always going to want to come to Richmond and play against us and really bring their A game. So that's, we're never going to be able to drop the ball at all. It'd be really great to bring the knowledge that we've had of 35 years of running successful women's sides down to sort of more of the grassroots clubs, and hopefully be able to pass on quite a bit of our knowledge of successful or running successful teams with a good setup and infrastructure around support in terms of coaching, the S&C element, physio, medical, and just administrating as well. I think there's lots of support that we can offer to the clubs and introduce good practices. So maybe this is an opportunity for us to help the grassroots levels that are otherwise being a little bit forgotten and left behind. Absolutely. So joining the Tyrrells League, we had to sacrifice our third team. So we've had the Impalas at the club since the 90s. They are essentially our sort of social side, but a great stepping stone for youth players coming in or players just wanting to learn the game, those wanting to just have a really enjoyable experience in a less competitive environment. So our plan will hopefully be to get the Impalas back up and running, not immediately, but certainly in the near future. We'll be able to run 2 teams initially, so having our first team being sort of our forefront, our leaders, and being really competitive, and our second team to allow our developing players to continue developing at a suitable level for them. But it also means that we do get to sort of refocus our energies on rebuilding our connections with our local community clubs. We've had a great relationship with London Scottish under 18s girls, which has kind of sort of fallen on the wayside the last few years because of the Tyrrells focus and Centre of Excellence focus. So we can hopefully energise that sort of partnership and friendship and really boost that, as well as some exciting ideas that we've got coming up that will hopefully continue seeing the game grow. So yeah, lots of positives. The support that we're getting from the Heavies Foundation is absolutely fantastic. It's a great initiative, and it's so needed at this time where everyone is separated off. We've had lots of players return back to hometowns, back to mum and dad. Lots of our university students have had to go back. We've had players leave the country, go back to the States, or I think we've got some as far as Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. So it's incredibly valuable that we've got this resource where you would usually pick up the phone to your mates or you'd bump into them down at the club, whether it be in the gym or on the pitch. So at a time when we're so separated, it's great to know that we've got this extra support to help if we need someone to talk to, or just need to feel that little bit of extra something that makes us feel a bit more normal and connected back to society, I suppose. The women's section has always been a club and a section that's available to everybody, and actually that's the club ethos. So we're very much a one club ethos anyway, and Richmond is a club for everybody. So regardless of your playing history background, wherever you've played before, if you haven't played at all, Richmond's certainly got a place for you, and we would love to see as many new players down, as well as our old returning players from this season, the last few seasons. So grab your boots, trainers, water bottles, gum shields, come on down and join us and just give us a try. And we would love to see as many of you as possible.